Do you really believe that waking up early, following all the rules, and working yourself to exhaustion will one day open the doors to wealth for you? Nietzsche would certainly laugh at such naive optimism, and might even ask, who really benefits from your blind effort? The truth is, the promise of hard work as the inevitable path to financial success is nothing but an illusion, carefully cultivated by those who profit from your sweat. Society needs you to believe in this myth, because while you wear yourself out believing that discipline is everything, they turn your sacrifice into their own profit. Uncomfortable? It should be, because if you think you're climbing the mountain of success, you might actually just be turning the crank of the machine, without realizing that the top was never meant for you. And it's precisely about this abyss of self-deception that Nietzsche warns us. Blind effort, without questioning, is just another form of servitude. If you dare to continue, get ready. Perhaps at the end of this journey, you will never be able to look at work the same way again. Are you willing to lose your last illusion? Or would you rather keep chasing a wealth that was never yours to begin with? Have you ever wondered why you work so hard, yet remain poor? Have you ever caught yourself looking at the clock at the end of the workday, wondering where all that effort went? Or better yet, why, no matter how hard you try, does the result always seem to be the same? The money comes and disappears. The exhaustion stays. Why do you wake up early, sacrifice weekends, study late, work overtime, chase promotions, and yet, at the job end of the month, there's no significant difference in your bank account? And it's not just you. Look at the streets, the crowded buses, the tired faces, people who, day after day, repeat the ritual of hard work and still remain far from wealth. Delivery workers, laborers, drivers, teachers, people who carry the country on their backs, but never reach the top of the mountain. If the world were fair, these people would be millionaires, but they aren't. So, someone here is lying. And this lie has a name. Work hard and you'll get rich. Maybe you've heard this your whole life. Maybe you've even said it to someone, trying to motivate them, trying to believe. But pause for a moment. Look back. How much has this phrase really changed your reality? It's a promise repeated so often it's become a mantra. So often it's become a religion. So often that many have come to believe in it as if it were a law of nature, like gravity. But deep down, the truth is something else. This phrase is not a rule. It's an illusion. A farce created to keep people functioning within a system that does not exist to benefit them. It exists to extract as much as possible from them. And no one ever really explained this. Have you ever stopped to think about who truly benefits from this belief? Because it's not the worker, it's not you. Nor is it that coworker who's always tired, always running, always waiting for recognition. The entire system depends on this collective illusion. And behind this curtain lies the real machinery, the machine that consumes effort. Imagine a gigantic, silent, almost invisible machine. It has no face, no clear owner. It doesn't appear in the news, but it's everywhere. It feeds on overtime, personal sacrifices, postponed dreams, tired bodies, and crushed souls. And this machine's favorite fuel, your hard work, that's what it wants. Not your well-being, not your freedom, not your happiness. Only your effort. It's a patient machine. It doesn't mind waiting years, decades. As long as you believe, the prize is just around the corner. Just one more effort. Just one more sacrifice. It keeps on consuming. And what does it offer in return? The promise that if you keep serving, one day everything will be rewarded. Except that reward rarely comes, and when it does, it's smaller than you imagined it would be. Think. How many parents dedicated decades to the same company, believing they would be valued, and were fired for someone younger, cheaper, How many young people gave up their projects, their dreams, to pursue safe careers, and now live trapped in jobs they hate? How many workers go out every day, face crowded buses, heat, rain, cold, and still can barely pay the rent? How many sacrifice moments with family, friends, their own mental health, all in the hope that one day it will be worth it? Time passes, hair turns gray, and when they realize it, that life of sacrifice didn't bring the promised reward. Only exhaustion remains, and no one complains. Because the message is clear, deeply engraved. If you're not rich, it's because you didn't work hard enough. A cruel phrase, unfair, profoundly wrong. And it's precisely this guilt that keeps the gears turning. Guilt. This is the machine's secret weapon. Because when you start blaming yourself, you stop looking at the real problem, the system itself. Friedrich Nietzsche didn't talk about finances. He didn't write books on career management. He didn't give motivational lectures. But he saw the human soul like few others. Nietzsche understood something fundamental about modern man. You can give everything you have and still get nothing in return. He called this active nihilism, the state in which an individual keeps functioning, but inside has already given up, has already understood that the promises are empty, but keeps playing the game out of fear, of stopping. This nihilism is everywhere. It's in the tired look of workers, in the fake motivation of social media, in speeches about meritocracy, as if the world were fair to those who strive. Nietzsche warned against what he called slave morality, the kind that turns obedience into virtue, suffering into merit, and submission into success. He understood that there was a system that glorified sacrifice, not as a means of human growth, but as a method of control. Hard work becomes a fetish. It becomes a status ornament. But it doesn't necessarily produce freedom, wealth, or meaning. Most often, it produces resignation. And today, this slave morality shows up in the phrases echoed everywhere. Where there's a will, there's a way. There are no limits for those who work hard. Success is 10% talent and 90% sweat. Work as if you didn't need the money. Beautiful, inspiring phrases. Sometimes even noble, but all based on a false premise that effort guarantees reward. And Nietzsche would say, this is a comfortable lie, because it comforts those who command and tames those who obey. Let's face the fact. Hard work doesn't guarantee wealth. It guarantees productivity. The system needs people who produce, consume, and follow orders. It needs individuals who believe they deserve little if they have little. It needs workers who keep giving their all, even when they know they'll never reach the top. And the top, by the way, is just a mirage. Because the social pyramid was not made to be climbed. It was made so that a few stay at the top, while millions try to ascend, year after year. For every person who made it, how many were left behind? For every success story told, how many silent failures? And if you're sitting there thinking that you just need to study more, work more, take more courses, wake up earlier, go to bed later, then you're being domesticated. You're exactly where the system wants you. Too busy to question, too tired to resist. Because the real goal of the system isn't for you to be happy. It's for you to keep functioning. And the more you believe in the lie of hard work, the longer you spend serving something that will never reward you. This is not a criticism of effort. Effort has value, but it is not and never was what determines who will thrive. The game is different. The rules aren't in the manual. They're in the fine print, in the exceptions, behind the scenes. Think about it. How many years of your life have you already invested in something that brought no real result? How many sacrifices made with the promise that one day it'll be worth it? How many lost hours you'll never get back? And more importantly, are you working to build your own life? Or to support a system that doesn't even recognize your worth? Nietzsche would say the first step to freedom is realizing you've been programmed, that your beliefs about success, work, and merit were shaped by a culture that thrives on your belief. And maybe, just maybe, the true path to wealth, not financial, but existential, begins with a single question. What is my own value? And that answer, my friend, no one can give for you. But make no mistake, the simple act of questioning is, in itself, an act of rebellion. It's already a movement toward freedom. Because, by challenging the unspoken rules of the game, you begin to see what most people don't. The power to say no. The power to choose for yourself. The power not to let your effort be wasted on empty promises. True wealth may lie elsewhere. In autonomy, in clarity, in the courage to live according to your own value, not the value the system assigns to your sweat.